What's going on, team?
Yo, up.
Gallery, very good. Benny, how are you, sir? Cowdog.
What's going on? It's all happening.
It is all happening, and we've got Josh and Ash wanting to join us today as well. So fingers crossed they can get on.
Nice.
But we're here, so let's get started. Benny, how are you, mate? Oh, you're on mute. Sorry, bro.
There we go. Yeah, well, as good as you can be in a lockdown week, I suppose, and all that sort of fun.
Yeah, I saw a really good Facebook meme the other day. It was we're all familiar with Stephen Bradbury, hey, and the 2020 Olympics.
Yep.
Yeah, it was he was like, on the finish line, like cheering. The three guys that fell over in front that are now behind, so it said on Stephen Bradbury's shirt, it said Victoria. So they've come from behind for the win, and then it had Perth, Sydney, and Brisbane, and I thought that was pretty fitting for what's currently going on. All the AFL teams have flown their players over to Melbourne to keep playing the sport. They've come from nowhere. Cool as. So Benny, mate, you could be the only one today. So which is good for you. So in terms of what we're going to do today and how we're going to lay out this last session is we're going to check back in with the lead gen stuff that we've been working on, possibly give you another couple of lead gen systems to work on. And then, mate, the last portion was just a Q&A, just to polish up everything that we've worked on up till now, just to make sure that, we're getting the most out of the last session and that you've got a very clear picture moving forward about what you need to be doing and how to do it. So that's the layout for today. Of course, these things can go anywhere, open for it to go anywhere. So, mate, touch base with us. What have you been doing in the last week and what have you been doing with the sales presentation and lead gen systems?
Well, still working on the sales presentation. That's okay. I'll get there with that. Lead gen, obviously, at the moment, I'm just, again, making sure I'm following up with people that I've got in my database and all that sort of stuff, and just touching base with those. More using that, rather than trying to generate new ones at the moment. I am looking at doing something. I'll speak to Phil, obviously, when I get back when we do get back in the gym, and see about what I can do. We're trying to promote the group training a bit further as well, actually, up on the group training timetable, because there's only two of us that actually advertise in the group training timetable.
Okay.
So I'm thinking of putting something up on there. I'm just working it out with my FD and seeing what I can actually put up there that's going to, hopefully generate some leads by just saying, basically, text this number for a free trial or something like that for one session or something like that, which I'm not going to, I'm not going to lose any money for that. But if they want to keep coming back, then obviously it's, more coins. So that's the idea that I got there. And I've got one existing client which I signed up for some online coaching, so that's a start as well. So just keep plugging away at all those little bits and pieces to generate more income. That's what it comes down to. Yeah.
Okay, cool. There was 3 systems that we worked on last time. Number 1 was social proof. Number 2 was walking the gym floor. We went into detail about how to start a conversation. And number 3 was a referral system. How did we go with those, Benny? Did you action any of that?
Social proof, well, I haven't done anything more with that. I know it's on my list of things to do for sure.
Yeah.
Because I have got some good photos of clients, as I said, through 8-week challenge and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I say I don't know, the last few days have just been a bit of a battle with everything, I suppose, with everything else that's going around, with it being school holidays, lockdown, and all that sort of stuff. It's just, it's hard to get the priorities right, I suppose, at the moment.
Okay. Did you want to focus on that a little bit? Because I reckon there's some stuff we could probably unpack, and because you're the only one that's jumped on the session, we can definitely post.
Yeah, man, that's just me. I just got to prioritize my time a bit better, as that it's just been very difficult the last few days to do that. As I said, with school holidays, and as you've seen, my son probably jump up on pop his head up in the call a second ago. He's probably trying to come again.
Yeah.
Doesn't make life any easier.
Hey, buddy.
So yeah, it's just trying to get it done. As I said, I just got to get in there and do it, and
Yeah.
I've got to sacrifice some sleep and shit to do it. I just got to get it done.
We actually, I mean, we don't enjoy lockdown. We'd much rather be getting our hands dirty with sessions, but on the same time, we've actually found in BDPT in my gym back in WA and a lot of clients through THQ that it's actually the perfect time to get all of the back end systems polished up because you're not working in the business as much. You might have some online sessions here and there, but it's actually prime time to get all the back end stuff done for you personally. And if I remember correctly, last week you had started the sales presentation, but still needed a bit of polishing. There's internal lead gen systems we can sort up. Obviously, we can't walk the gym floor at the moment, but with the social proof, we can have action plans in place for that, and also the referral system. We could do up a graphic and pitch that out. So, brother. Okay, cool. So obviously like time management and the kids at home, like I get it. Well, I don't because I don't have kids, but I can understand how that would be become more of a priority. And you want to have some like decent time with your kids as well. So I understand that. Yeah. Cool, man. So all right. So let's dive into the first thing I wanted to do was check in with the goals. So we set some goals at the very start of this. So I just wanted to check in on that. So let's jump on that weekly goals spreadsheet. And Benny, can you just read out the goals that you set for yourself at the start of this program?
Obviously, well, the 8-week goals was PT income over 1,000. Well, not there yet.
What is the income? Just out of curiosity, how far off were we?
It's probably sitting 700 at the moment.
Yeah.
Reduce hours at second job. Well, that hasn't happened yet either because not in enough money.
Yep.
Yeah. So just I've got to keep plugging away at these things that I need to do, which is social proof, because I know I've got some great social proof. Work on the sales presentation, just keep contacting those leads, working through them. As you say, sometimes it might be the right time. I've actually just messaged a few people this morning. Again, while they're in lockdown, they mightn't be at work. So we've so they might be ready to jump onto something now, when we get out of lockdown next week or something like that.
Cool, easy, very good. Hey Ash.
Hey, sorry, I've just got a new laptop and it was not letting me on at all.
That is all good. All good. We made it. So I guess you haven't missed out on too much. Just like the layout of the session, and we've already dove into it. What we're currently up to at the moment is we're just diving into the goals that we initially set ourselves at the start. So Ash, if you wanted to jump on your weekly goals portion of the program tracker, and go through your goals that you set at the start of the this course.
Let me see if I can find them. Make sure I'm looking at mine and not somebody else's. So I haven't quite reached the 750 a week yet. It is starting to get up there with the few new clients I've got if we hadn't have gone into lockdown.
So can we get a clear indication of where you're sitting? How close did we get?
I believe before my gym rent comes out, it's sitting at about 400 a week.
Yeah. So we like setting goal. This is the thing about setting goals. Like, okay, like we didn't hit that actual goal that we were at, but we put a good dent in it, right? And we were proactive in getting there. So that's actually, and for how long you've been in the industry as well, Ash, like that's good. And same with you, Benny. Like we didn't quite hit the $1,000, but we were proactive in doing what we could to get there. Something actually, do you know what, Ash? I'll let you continue on with your goals, and then I've got a little bit of a exercise we can do after that.
And the second one I had for the 8-week goal was to have enough clients to quit my second job. unfortunately, I don't have quite enough yet. So, but I have
Okay.
reduced my hours quite drastically. I'm only there maybe 15 hours a week when I was there 25 plus at the
Yeah.
start.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
massive. So that's huge. So you've got 10 additional hours where you can be, well, doing whatever you want really, but putting
Yeah.
into your health and fitness business. Hey, that's cool.
Yes.
Really, really cool. Well, that's great, guys. So the good work on that. Now, I just want to, if you've got pen and paper with you, I just want to ask you a couple of questions. So the first question, let's go with, okay, we didn't quite hit the goal, and that's all good. We were still, we still worked our way up towards that goal. What was one thing you did really well through this process? What was one thing that you're happy with through this 7-8 week THQ course that we're doing right now?
For me, just getting through that pathway to profits, I think that's a big part of it. I'm still working through that. It's just making sure everything's where it should be. And I think obviously, Brad and Jason have done a lot of work in setting that program up to be what it is.
Tens of thousands of hours, yeah.
They're just working their way through it. Lots of good stuff in there. Saving every page that I do, I save it as a file, separate outside the course, obviously anyway. So we can go back to it and use it when we need to. Obviously, just the tips from you guys as well. Not just yourself, but obviously everybody else that's been in the program. You just sort of pick up little tidbits along the way.
Yeah.
Just makes it good when you're bouncing ideas off other people. I suppose that if you're just doing the Pathway to Profits program on your own, it wouldn't be the same as getting to bounce off other people and yourselves. So it's just about, the biggest thing is, if you want your business to grow, it's up to you. It's not up to anybody else. So you can't just wait for it to happen. You've got to make it happen. As I said, I've said that quite a bit over the 8 weeks. That's what at the end of the day it comes down to. What you put in is what you're going to get out of it.
100%.
I like it, man. It's real, it's genuine, and it's such an important part of business that sometimes takes people years to learn, right? But mate, from my understanding, if I'm hearing that correctly, that it's all our responsibility, right? And it's what we want to do with that time and us getting it done, because it's not going to get done for us. So invaluable lessons to learn there. I love it, Benny. And Ash, what's something that you did really, really well through this program?
Probably mainly just the whole initial setup of my business, like having you guys here to ask questions about, with the easy debit and all that, all of the more the business side of things, having people that I could talk to, check in to make sure what I was doing was right and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Cool. Sweet. Excellent. Now, next question I want you to ask yourself is, and take your time with this, whether you want to write stuff down on pen and paper first, but what's something that we could have done better? Or another way to hear that question out or assess that question is, if you did this program again, what's something that you would do better?
I don't know that I could even think of anything that's better at the moment, personally. I think we've covered most things that you know what to do. Again, it's about actually just now hitting the ground and actually doing the things that we've talked about.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to. If you don't do it, then it doesn't matter. You could do the course 5 times. If you don't actually do the stuff that's in there, then it's not going to make any difference either way.
Yep.
I don't think it's not anything in the course that's going to change anything. It's what you actually do with what you get out of the course. That's all. As I said, I don't think there's anything bad in it anywhere. I don't think there's anything that needs to be better. You just got to, again, take that ownership on and do what's in it.
Yeah, not necessarily even what's bad in the course, but more so look at your own performance and think about, okay, cool. Like when we started, I set out these goals, I got pretty close to achieving them. What's something I could do better around that? Well, I could probably prioritize my time a little better. I could
Yep.
probably make sure that I stick to that half hour a day, 5 days a week for Pathway to Profits, or I could, use the weekly goal system a little bit better, because I found that if I had that accountability on a week to week basis, I could, I could probably stick to what I need to do better. Or is it just like I could probably ask more questions to Brad and Cal? So it's more of like a personal reflection as well, like just so we can take something out of it and run with it next time. Business is all about learning. It's not necessarily just learning off your mistakes, but learning off just education and learning off just as you go through the process. So when I ask these questions, there's a real kind of formula behind it.
I'll definitely say that for me, then time management.
Well, yeah.
I got to get better at that. I go, I'll do it tomorrow sometimes.
Yeah.
And we all
I'll start Monday. I'll start Monday.
We all do that. It's always Monday.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just time management, saying, okay, yeah, as you said, doing that, half an hour in that Pathway to Profits, that 5 days a week or whatever, then, just going to make it easier. I haven't always done that. I've done yesterday was like a 2-hour session on Pathway to Profits. Okay, I had the 2 hours to do it, so I did it, but
sweet, bro.
It's not the ideal way necessarily to do it, because it does, your brain starts going a bit too much by the end of it, I think. But better off doing it in half-hour chunks than it's least. Okay, cool. I've got that done. Come back to it tomorrow.
Cool, man. I love it.
Time management for me. Yeah.
Sweet. Very good. Ash?
Very similar, probably mainly changing like my priorities and like working better on time management. And yeah, very similar to what Ben said.
Yeah. Time management, it's such a big part of business. And I look back at when I first started PT, and oh my goodness, like my time management was horrible, and it led to burnout. And I look at, some of the people that I've coached over the years, and the time management is always a thing that needs to be improved or can get better, or, needs to be focused on. So it's not surprising to hear that. Cal, what have you done? Because you've gone from, coming into the fitness industry from a mining industry, and then having basically to run your own business, get your own clients. You've got to wear all these different hats. What was it for you? I just want to give these guys a bit of, a bit of background about what it takes, or what you need to do to make that level where you can start running a business and still have the opportunity to live a life as well.
Yeah, I think you just said it right there. Is giving yourself that opportunity to be able to live the life that you want to live. So when it comes to time management, if you want to be able to have that extra time up your sleeve, that extra day off, whatever it may be, how are you going to get that extra day off? Are you going to schedule for it? Are you going to rearrange clients so you can manage that? I think just coming from an industry where I didn't have to schedule at all, or I just had to show up, I was just a number, go drive around in circles for 12 hours and then go home. Then into coming into organising people, and my time management wasn't great, but in some areas I took it too far in regards to trying to manage my clients too much, messaging them like every night, reminders of their sessions, all the stuff, instead of like putting the personal responsibility onto them. So that took up a lot more time. Then they wanted to have a chat via text up until 10 o'clock at night, and then someone would cancel at 12 o'clock at night. You'd wake up in the morning, you'd have a heap of cancellations. Whereas, just learning all those little tricks of just going, so they know when their time is, they're booked in, little things like that. And the other thing is too, is having that personal responsibility for yourself, booking that stuff in, an hour a day for working on your business, that hour a day for working on yourself, whether it's workouts, meditation, working on your emotional intelligence, or your own personal growth as well. So, yeah, and it just takes time. Even recently, I've slipped on things as well. And you've got to be able to take that step back and go, all right, what can I do? What have I done wrong here? And what was I doing that was working? And what was I doing that wasn't working? And how can I improve on that so I don't get to this point as bad next time? Because it will happen.
Yeah.
It will slip, but you've got to be willing to step back and learn from it.
Such an important point, Cal. And I agree with that so much. Like, just because you see people that are running successful business doesn't mean they've got their time management all perfected. They might have systems and tools that they use and they've got a pretty good idea. But Cal nailed it. Having the ability to know, no, I haven't got this right. Take a step back, assess the situation, and do exactly what we're doing right now. Plan forward. Okay, what have I done well? What do I need to improve on? How can I improve on that? So that's absolutely, I agree with what you just said, Cal. And guys, one other thing I just want to touch on is the biggest tool for me is my calendar. If it's booked in, I'm going to do it. If it's not booked in, it'll get pushed back to Monday, like Ben was saying. Like, it's so easy to do anything else. So realistically, you know, and I've got a really good weekly routine now that works really well for me. But still there comes times where I need to step back, polish it up. But that calendar, if it's booked in, there's a much higher chance that I will action those things. So yeah, that's good. Time management, it's a massive part of it. So yeah, cool as. All right, gang. If time management is that portion and the one thing that we want to get better at throughout this process, the last question I want to ask you, and I want you to ask yourself, is what's one thing that you can change today, or one thing that you can action today that's going to be a step closer to that? So is it making sure that you book in what you need to book in your calendar? Is it having a day off so you can work on the business? When I say off, it's not working in the business, it's working on the business. Is, you know, what is it for you? So what's one thing that we can do or change or action today?
Yeah, just booking in the calendar for me. So, you know, I've got usually that little bit of time at night once the fellow goes to bed and stuff like that, and just making it, you know, that, you know, half an hour to an hour every night where I'm doing something to work on business rather than just sort of going, oh yeah, I'm going to plonk on the couch and watch TV.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That is that. Even if it's half an hour is better than not.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, sometimes it mightn't even take you that long. You make, okay, you're doing social media posts, you can probably do it in 10, 15 minutes. And then you go, right, well, at least that's done. And you go, okay, cool, done, move on. You might schedule some posts, that sort of stuff as well, and Facebook and all that sort of stuff as well, and just go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. Sometimes you can get those couple of tasks done faster than half an hour, but other times I find myself just in an absolute massive momentum state where I could start at 7 and want to do a half hour of whatever, and I could find myself just killing it and loving it, and I can push through to 9:30 quite easily. So, but just having that half hour guideline and then just seeing how you go. If you're not feeling it, just knock off at the half hour. If you are, just using that momentum to go forward. Love it. And you, Ash, one thing that you can action or do today?
Probably set up like a schedule, and like maybe instead of, like you guys say that you're doing it at night, I find myself more focused in the morning. So setting up a time in the morning, having breakfast, sitting down, have a coffee, then jump in, do half an hour, and then go through my day. Probably something like that.
Yeah, love it. I know Big Brad Shep, the big animal that he is, he wakes up at 3 a.m. and does an hour of power. So 3 a.m. he's awake and he'll do a lot of his planning or whatever he needs to get done in the morning. He loves it, and he reckons that his phone's not going off. He's focused. Everyone is still asleep. There's no distraction. So he loves that time. So such a good point, Ash, like knowing what works for you. It doesn't need to be at nighttime.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
So good, gang. All right. And it's so good us, like, you know, kind of reflecting on that and getting these little pieces of learning out. But this is half of it. Understanding and recognizing is half of it. The other half is actually actioning it and doing something about it from here. So guys, please do something, write something down, put a reminder on your phone right now before we get on to the next section so that it gets actioned. I just want you guys to get the most out of this, and I want you guys to have things to continuously do after this course is done as well. Team, we've checked in on our goals. Pathway to Profits. We've discussed Pathway to Profits. Well, I know where Ben's sitting. How are you going with your Pathway to Profits, Ash? And also, after Ash answers this question, is there anything that we can help with Pathway to Profits while you have us here?
If I go back in and have a look, I think I'm possibly halfway through.
Yep, cool.
I think.
Yep.
I haven't been on it for a couple days, so I'm not 100% sure
That's
of
okay.
whereabouts I
guess,
left it last week.
no, that's okay. I guess what I'm asking is, how is it going? Is it kind of streamlined? You know where you're at. You know what you're doing. Is there anything we can help with?
Yeah, no, like it's all working really well. It's just like we were talking about before, scheduling that time, like do half an hour of business stuff and then half an hour of pathway to profits in the morning. Oh, there we go. I jumped on to have a look where I was and he started talking to me. Yeah, I'm about halfway through. So yeah, it's going, like, understanding all of it. But yeah, just scheduling in that time to sit down and do it and focus on it.
Sweet. Yeah.
I've got lots of videos to watch in the next section of mine. So yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch the videos when I was training. Hey, so when I was training or driving in the car, I used to put the video there. And whether or not I was actually watching it, I was listening to it and getting the content. Some portions you need to obviously watch it as well. But yeah, I would get a lot of my listening time done in dead time, driving in the car, etc. Cowdog, what's a tip that we can have? How did you get through your pathway to profits? Any tips you can give the gang?
Yeah, it's essentially just setting that time limit every day, picking the days you want to do it. The guideline is that 30 minutes per day sort of thing for 30 days. But yeah, I think I set up an hour for the first week and just smashed out as much as I could. I really love taking in that kind of content. So it was relatively easy for me to just schedule in the middle of the day when I was in between clients and I had that time. I'd quickly get what I need done for my business and then click straight over to it. And yeah, it's just having that accountability to yourself. Set that time, book it in. When you're there, do it. Yeah.
Cool. Love your work, team. Love your work. Guys, I'm actually just going to open up this session. Like, we've got a Q&A planned. I'm going to kind of start the Q&A now, but what can we work on right now that's going to benefit your businesses the most? Is it touching base on lead gen? Is it, how can we help with the sales system? Is there something in your sales system that you want to kind of, touch over together? I'm going to hand it over to you for the second half of the session. What can we work on right now that's going to impact your business in a positive way?
All right, if you I'll just sugarcoat it real simple. Let's just go back to lead gen and give me ideas what else we can actually use to get lead gen. Obviously, we've got, we talked about last week, the social proof, walking the gym floor. What other ideas we got to, obviously to really just get out there and try and get some new leads so we can help grow our businesses. Yeah.
So many good ideas.
Yeah.
So many. I'm going to throw that question back at you and say, is there any particular forms of lead gen that you both of you guys want to either polish up or are interested in, heard about, don't know how to action properly? So is there any floating around at the top of your head at the moment?
I'm maybe just looking for some new ideas maybe that I haven't done. I had the Dropbox in the gym, which had, I suppose, mixed results.
Yeah.
I got leads out of it, but most of them didn't actually even get back to me when I rang them or texted them anyway.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know what you think. If you put your name in a Dropbox, then you want to be contacted, but apparently not.
Seems a bit strange, but anyway. Put your name down and then don't bother answering when someone does something about it. But
yeah, I've got a great story. I had a lead box in the gym that I first started working in Mandurah, and I got maybe about 10, 12 names, and then I was calling through them, and my script must have sucked so bad at the start that one of the guys that I called, he thought I was a the telephone salespeople, from like India, the call centers. Not that I sound Indian, but he thought I was trying to sell it. He went fucking off his rocker on the phone. Hey, absolutely off. Couldn't stop him. Went on for about 15 seconds, maybe, just telling me that I need to go and kill myself. And, it was bad, man. It was really bad. And just absolutely going off his rocker. I just let him go. And I said, mate, it's Brad from the gym, mate. I'm just contacting you back because you put your name and number in the lead box. And he was like, fuck, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Turned out I ended up doing the free session with him. It was a free session, signed him up as a client, and we're still like not best mates, but still talking to this day. But man, yeah, it's quite funny. When you said that, Ben, I just had to share that story, man. It was fucking hilarious. So funny, even if they're putting their name out there, sometimes and probably a good lesson on how important scripting is as well. Need to have that script corrected as well. If you sound like a Indian salesperson at the start, it's probably not the most strongest way to move forward. So Dropbox we've touched on, walking the gym floor we've touched on, social proof we've touched on, referral system we've touched on. Okay, so lead gen. So in terms of, I always like to go internal of the business before I go external. So if we go internal of the business, fair enough, we've done referral system. Now, Ash, are you on top of that referral system?
No, I think I missed that one.
Yeah, there's a recording on it. I'd highly recommend to go back.
Yeah.
It was last session. I won't go over it today, but it was basically just in a real snapshot. It was an incentive for your current clients to go out and market for you. So give your clients either a session or a free session or money. They go out and get a couple of mates, sign them up, happy days. But I would recommend to go through that recording.
Yeah.
Now, internal business systems, what I'd also recommend is, if someone is doing one session a week with you, how can we get them to 2 or 3 sessions? Or if they're doing 2 sessions a week with you, how can you get them to 3 sessions? And that's only a portion of it. The other portion is upsell. Is there a product or something we can actually upsell our clients into? A Saturday boot camp, a personalized stretching program. So let's kind of explore inside our business and what can we do with our current clients? Ideas?
Yeah, obviously, as I said, if you're trying to go from a person that's doing 1 a week to doing 2 a week, then you can increase your income. You might offer them a slightly better rate, for example, to do that second session than a full price, perhaps.
Yeah, I've got clients. I'm personally not a mad fan of that. It's not wrong to do, most certainly, and I've got clients that do it. Like there's ain't nothing wrong with it. But I always enjoy having the conversation with them first and saying, hey, Susie, I know we've been training once a week together for 6 months. However, I enjoy training you so much. We're seeing such good results. Have you ever thought about training twice a week with me?
Yeah.
There's just been a spot open up 9:15 a.m. on a Thursday morning. I know you're available at that time. Is this something that you're interested in?
I can consider, yeah. And I do get that point. I know certainly with most of the people I've had in the past, it's usually been to do a second or a third session in particular. Usually does come down to dollars. Probably why I think along that line of, okay, well, how am I going to get an extra $40 a week out of this person or something like that by going, okay, well, let's go from 110 a week for 2 sessions to 150 a week for 3. I don't see that has been a terrible thing. I mean, you're still charging $50 a session, and to get $40 is better than not $40.
Absolutely, yeah, yep, absolutely. Totally agree. So yeah, there's that. It's not a form of lead gen, but if we look at the intention of lead generation, it's getting people into the business so we can sell them into our products and services. What about the people that are already in there? Trying to get them onto a second or third session.
It's usually easy because you've already got the rapport and everything with them. They're already enjoying what you're doing, and it's 100%. Like, okay, how do we get them to do a bit more?
Yeah, 100%. Totally
if you get that across 3 or 4 clients, then all of a sudden you've got an extra $150 a week or something.
Plus, yeah, love it. What about upsell? What about upsell in terms of, can we offer our current clients any products or services or features that is going to bring in a high dollar value from each client?
What sort of products or services are you looking at there then, Brad?
It could be a stretching program, personalized stretching program. Usually you write these up for $60 per person, but because you're the VIP member and you've been with me for 6 months, I'm giving these away for 50% off. It could be access to a CRM. You could upsell your skills and go to a Trainerize, and instead of them paying $110 for 2 sessions now, you can include Trainerize into that package deal, into that product. And because they're getting more value, you can now charge them $10 to $15 more expensive per week. if you've got 10 clients, having a $10 to $15.
With that Trainerise one, I can tell you just about every trainer in Good Life that Robina is now offering Trainerise.
It's fucking cool, man. One of my clients in Sydney showed me the other day. Fuck, it's cool. If I was a trainer, I reckon I'd have it.
Like if you didn't have Trainerise there at the moment, mate, you'd be behind even all the newbie guys.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And they've all got all their marketing stands around at the moment. It's a lot of the new guys, and it's like weekly app access to this, and you're like, well, it's sort of like, I know what you're saying about trying to upsell them into more, but at the moment, it's getting included in everything there anyway.
Yeah, Trainerise is only an example as well. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the creative juices flowing for us. I was just giving you a couple of examples just to get the conversation going. Is there any ideas that we're having as I'm kind of spruiking these ideas?
I know I quite often I'll buy protein in bulk for my clients. I don't make a lot of money off that, but I do make some money.
Yeah.
I usually buy it through bulk nutrients, and I'll buy 10, 15 kilos at a time, and on pay $22 a bag for it and sell it for 30, which okay, it's not heaps, but something better than nothing. Doesn't really cost me anything to do it.
Yep.
If that's how you make $80, well, okay, make $80 that way.
Cool.
I do that one.
What about clothing? Anyone do clothing here?
I have done.
Okay.
I generally just sell it to my clients at cost most of the time in that one.
Probably hard to make coin doing that, eh?
Not trying to make a buck. I'm just happy that they're advertising my business almost at the same
Good
time.
community. It's great at building community if people are wearing and repping your brand.
So that I said I've just pretty much done always clothing at cost. Haven't made any money.
Yep.
That way. I said if they're happy to pay for it and wear my business on the shirt, I'm pretty happy with that, really, rather than trying to make a buck off it.
Yeah. Ash, have you thought about any clothing or upselling with supplements or upselling programs or CRM access?
I have thought about the clothing and all that, and a few of my friends have got like crickets, so it just and they'd be able to print the stuff and then I'd iron it on for them, so it'd be a lot lower cost as well. But yeah, and then I have thought, and during the 3-day lockdown, a few of my group fitness classes, they've obviously all been cancelled, so I've written up a couple little programs, like bodyweight programs, for the people that come to my classes to do at home, which will hopefully then they may ask for some more, which I'll then, like the first one I've given them to them complimentary, because it was kind of brought on all of a sudden and nobody was ready for it. So I didn't have that time, and then like upselling from my classes that I do, like getting people in to do like a session to like a movement analysis and all that, like upselling clients that don't have to pay for the class as such to come and do one-on-one stuff.
Cool. Yeah. There was, and I think you might have touched on this just now, Ash, there's one of my clients, she works in Southport in a Snap, I want to say Snap, and she's actually pitched to the gym owner, hey, through this lockdown, let's get some free classes running, and just on Zoom. So she's actually pitched out, the gym's posted it, she's posted it, it's gone out in an email database. She's got like a good amount of people jumping onto her Zoom classes now that she has never had contact with, but they just want to keep doing something inside, well, not inside the gym, but in their home through lockdown, right? So now she's having all this additional access to these members that she's never really had access to before. It's literally half hour to 45 minutes of her time. Not a lot of time for her. She can have a sneaky little sales pitch or a free session or whatever at the end to entice them into her business. So absolutely, that's another form of lead gen that we're talking about right now as well. Hey.
Yeah.
I've gotten back into some Zoom workouts this weekend, but this last couple of days with obviously existing clients. Because Good Life already do at-home workouts for people anyway. So that's doesn't, while it's a great idea, obviously, if in the terms of Snap, if they're not the Good Life already have a big sort of national one. Obviously, they did it last year when the whole country was in lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of gyms do it, but like trying to get, like, if you want to get people from that, is doing more of a personalized one to them. Like if they have got an injury
Agreed.
or anything,
Agreed.
personalizing it for them that way.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if yeah, absolutely. And if they've got any gear at home, any workout gear, you're more than happy to, put on an offer for them to do a session with them with the gear that they've got at their house. So absolutely, there is multiple opportunities there for sure. For sure. CalDog, lead gen, internal business. What are your thoughts?
Email database campaign.
Yeah.
Really touched on that massively, but it throws back to having that social proof and something to provide, the proof that you can help them. So, yeah, and I think it's something we did in the past together. We worked on, it was like a 4 email thing from memory. It's just telling a story.
Yeah.
And then we went through, and then I think the third post was a bit more the social proof. And then that last email was the call to action. And, if you are interested in this, here's what we offer. Yeah.
Yep. Who's got access to an email database with their current clients, or maybe just an open email database with their clients plus others?
So I got the other day a list of recent members, phone numbers, emails, and all that as a lead gen from the gym.
Recent members, recent signups, or recent cancellations, or
recent signups.
Oh, see, that's how I built my business. Hey, like that right there is how I built my business.
Yeah, so it's
So
an
powerful.
Excel document that has like 500 plus, and that's just female members from 18 to 35.
Oh,
Wow. So good.
Stop
So-
it.
Most of ours found the newbie.
What's that? Sorry.
I said all of our leads like that go to the newbies.
Is
Well,
there
yeah,
any-
that's why I got them.
500, mind you? Is there any
Yeah,
opportunity?
500 of them.
Yeah, fuck. Is there any? Ash, do you know what? While you're still like obviously in this session, I'm not sure if we're gonna have time today to work on scripting, but like while you're still, I think there's another week of where you can have Facebook group support with us. If you wanted to work on scripting, that would be a great opportunity. So if you did up a script that you would want to either do on a phone call or a text message to them, and then like send it in the group, and Cal and I can polish it up and give you some suggestions. There's also a really good couple of examples in the Pathway to Profits.
There
Yeah.
is.
Phone
Looking
call
at it
script.
right now.
Yeah.
Outbound sales call script.
Yeah.
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 Is that B Shep's one, Cal?
I think so, mate. Yeah, and it's exactly the same one that I use.
Got a really, really
Yeah,
good one.
basic, but it works so well that I don't see why we'd have to change it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I didn't do to sound like a Indian call rep, center rep, right? So
Yeah.
having the scripting is really, really important to nail. Yeah.
Yeah. I have been through my script with Chris. He's the PT manager at EMF. So
Yeah.
I have been through it with him a few times, and we've changed a few little things and how to put myself out there above the other PTs at the gym and all that.
Nice.
Like how to market myself above them.
That's good. That'd
well,
stand out, be unique.
Yeah.
I love
That's the word I was looking for, not put myself above them.
it. Wow.
But yeah.
I got what you meant. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And Benny, you're saying that a lot of the new signups or leads go to the new PTs in the gym. Mate, is there any opportunity that we can be creative here? And this is good for you as well, Ash. Is there any way that we can go to the fitness director or the gym manager or the owner or whatever and ask for more lists, or kind of deal with the salespeople and do like a sale at point of sale at front desk?
Yeah. Again, most of those are still going to the new PTs as well. So you got your MIAs, which is obviously people not attending the gym at the moment. Haven't been in the last 4 weeks. Birthday lists and quarterly coaching. Again, they all go to the newbies. So it is.
Was that you, Cal?
I think it was.
My little fella's screaming past the call there. At least he's watching a movie on the TV at the moment, so he's not reminding us too much. But yeah, it's just trying to get your hands on some of those sometimes, because they are all going to the newer PTs, and we've got that many. There's another new one start the other day. It's like, really, another one?
Have you asked the question, Benny, and said, mate, can you hook us up to the fitness director?
Look, I've certainly chatted to Phil, and I do keep touching base with him all the time. I do get I've got a pretty good relationship with him, at least. We support the same football team, so that's something.
Yeah.
What football team is that?
It's the Melbourne Demons, actually, in AFL. So
Okay, I'd love to give you shit, but you're on top of the ladder, aren't
sitting pretty on top at the
you?
moment.
Keep them out
So,
shut.
yeah. You got to take the good things while you can get them, because the Demons are very few and far between at that. So
Yeah.
but yeah, so it's not I don't get anything. It's just trying to get those leads that actually turn into something. I think I've had probably half a dozen jump starts this year, and not one of those jump starts have I even had in for a single session.
So you've got their names and numbers though.
Got their names and numbers. You ring them, you text them, and you get nothing.
So scripting's important with that as well. Like there's so much.
I haven't even spoken to them.
Yeah.
So even like we've actually tested and measured so many scripts with this, and we usually get a pretty good response. Even if you start with like, I don't know how long it's been, Benny, so I don't know your current situation, but we've sent texts like, hey mate, just let us know if you're getting these messages or not. If you are, but you don't want to receive them, let us know. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep sending them. Like we've literally sent messages like that to get a response.
Yeah. Well, again, sent a few messages this morning to people that were in that lead box, the ones that I haven't heard back from, which there's 5 of them, and in lockdown, still not hearing back from them. So.
I know a technique that Big Jace uses a lot too, and that is like, he'll be like, hey, just checking in, like I'm just not sure if you're in jail or not. Do I need to bail you out? Just reply yes or no. And that usually just opens up that bit of rapport, that bit of funniness that you'll get that reply back. Maybe even if it is a day or so later, like, oh no, it's all right. No, I'm not in jail.
I definitely used something like that in the text message this morning. Just talking pretty much about lockdown. In the text messages and that this morning, you say, hey, I know we're in lockdown at the moment, so you're probably not you're definitely not at the gym at the moment. But if you want to do something when we do get out of lockdown next week, then at least try to sound like it's personable rather than a robot contacting them. But yeah, as I say, like not much going on so far, but hey, you just got to keep trying. You never know.
Yeah,
we've had a good one on top of Carl's. It was like, hey Susie, just want to continue this love-hate relationship. I love to message and you hate to respond.
Yeah.
So just have a bit of fun with them, because you're right, Cal. Like a lot of the time, that's all it takes to get some. And you hear some crazy stories of a couple of years ago, an event, some guy just had a really good texting system, and even if they didn't reply, he just kept going. He would have sent this guy 10, 12 texts, and then this guy finally responded and said, mate, you really don't give up, do you? And his response was like, nah, well, you could be my next best client. It's a really good opportunity, and just replied in such a positive manner. Ended up signing the guy up and training him for over 2 years. So it's a phone call or a text message. It doesn't take a lot of time. And I would definitely, scripting, Benny, my word of advice there would be, scripting is, if you get it right, it can be super beneficial. So same as what I was saying to Ash, like in this last week, feel free to send your scripts into the group. Cal and I would love to, try some things outside of the box and see if we can get a response for you.
Sure.
Cool, gang. Lead gen. So we've got a couple more lead gen sources there. So there's email database. Oh, by the way, email database. I mean, look, in terms of like databases, I think Facebook community groups, which we've touched on, I think they're just becoming a really strong form of lead database, lead generation plus having a database. The other way to get started on this stuff, and Cal, I believe you use these guys at MailChimp in form of actual email database.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Yeah. If you guys wanted to get started with an email database as such, MailChimp seem to be the leaders in that space for small businesses.
Yeah.
So if you wanted any more info in regards to that, I mean, we all know James Smith PT, right?
Right.
James Smith. We all know James Smith PT.
Oh yeah, yep.
Ashlyn,
No.
do yourself a favor, add James Smith PT on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah. So this guy is fucking hilarious, right? He is an absolute master at email database. He's built his whole business off Facebook Lives and email database. And he, about maybe 12 months ago, maybe 2 years ago, and everyone was saying, oh, email database is dead. Email database is dead. Emails don't work anymore. And I remember listening to his podcast and he was like, I love that people say that because it means that less people are using them. So it's working better for me.
Yeah.
So in this day and age, I think email database is always going to be a thing. So yeah, look, I'd really recommend to have some form of email database. I know some CRMs, maybe Trainerize, might be hooked in with an email database. But yeah, if not, I would highly recommend MailChimp on that front. Cool. So that's internal systems. I mean, there's a few more internally that we could, I'm sure we could go through and you know, get creative. Let's have a little look on the outside of our current clients. What can we do to get more clients in the gym and into your business? So we've spoken about like drop boxes. You can do that at cafes. You can do it at supplement stores. You can do it at wherever, hairdressers, beauty salons, right? So you can have a drop box at these locations. Same thing, have an enticing dealer offer on the front. Put a couple of names in there every week, go back and have a look and see if it's working. If it's not, change it.
Also add your QR code for your socials on there and stuff as well. Yeah.
Are we all over how to do that?
I got no idea how to QR code anything.
Do you know how to set them up, Cal?
Yeah, you can. There is a website that does it, but for your Instagram in particular, you can just do it through the app. It's already on there. So all you have to do is like screenshot it and then print it out, and it's already there, like a link to your Instagram. As far as Facebook and that goes, I'm pretty sure, I can't remember off the top of my head. We did one, but I think they time out. So they might only be viable for a week or 24 hours or something like that.
Yep.
Because we've got one on the front fence here with our business on it, and we got it printed out and it was working at the time. By the time the sign turned up, it wasn't. So we just had to reprint something and laminate it and stick it over the top. So
it's good. I like
it's fun spending money on that and it doesn't work. Yeah.
The idea was so good.
Yeah.
In terms of that, YouTube tutorial videos are always excellent at that, guys. So YouTube tutorial, you just type in, how do I create a QR code? And you not only get someone explaining how to do it, but you get the visual of it as well. So I'm a massive fan of YouTube tutorials.
Yeah.
And then that leads us into like small business networking. So you've not only got a lead box or flyers or business cards in these small businesses. What about actually talking to the owner or manager and trying to get their staff in, have a deal for their staff? If you've got a community group with 50 to 100 people in it, or however many people you've got, if they have any deals or offers, like if they're doing half price coffees on Mondays, for example, for a cafe, you could literally say, hey guys, would love to team up on a small business networking system with you. We'd love to support each other's small business and build each other up. Do you have any deals or promos going at the moment? Would love to post that into my community page. I've currently got 50 coffee lovers in there. And they'll be like, yeah, fucking oath. Like, absolutely. In response, you know, can we just, you know, is there any chance that you can share this on your social media? Or is there any chance we could leave this lead box at the front desk? So there's always ways you can team up with small businesses. Has anybody ever tried a small business networking or is half interested in it? Let's unpack this a little bit.
Never tried it, but there's a coffee shop down the road from me. And quite more often than not, there's at least 2 or 3 people in there with that coffee cup when they come in to train or when they leave. So it might be an option to go and ask them to put something down there, because I know that there's already a lot of people that are members, so they'd be able to use their membership and then come in, get additional one-on-one training then as well.
Yeah, sweet. When you say ask them to leave something in there, Ash, a lot of what we found is a lot of the time, if we go in and just ask something straight off the bat, a lot of people kind of go, nah, mate, or they're like, yeah, you can leave your flyers there. And as soon as you walk out, they're at the bottom of the bin. So that's why we enjoy going in, and instead of going, hey guys, do you mind? We're, just a PT up the road. Do you mind if we leave this lead box or flyers here? And they go, yeah, that's all good. I personally feel like we've missed out on a lot of connection there. So what we like to go in and do is highlight the benefits for them. Hey guys, my name's Ash. I'm a PT just up the road. We have a lot of clients that already come here. Hey, do you have any deals or offers that we can share into our social media and help you guys build your small business? They're all of a sudden thinking, fuck yeah, I'd love to work with this person because they've got benefits now, right? They've got a reason to do it that's going to benefit them. Yeah. Hey, in return, is there a chance that you can share this on your social, or can we put this lead box in, or whatever have you? So that would be my recommendation. Always highlight the benefits to them first.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely mention to them that you see them walking into the gym with their coffee cups.
Yeah.
I know a few of the baristas, I've actually seen them in their training as well. So
yeah,
open up that rapport with them, start having a chat and say, hey, I'll bring a coffee from there. Do you work there?
Yeah.
If you already know it, just ask a question, start that conversation.
Yeah.
And if you get a no, that'll be super awkward. I've seen you in, nah, not me.
Well, you've got a doppelganger that comes.
What were you going to say before, Benny?
For me, like, I think, well, not so much the coffee shops, but, you can always go and hit up places like your Rockwares and Lorna Jane's, because obviously we're attached to a major shopping centre. So those places are already there, and just seeing what you can do in terms of, I personally probably have a little bit better rapport with the girls probably in Rockware than Lorna Jane, but I'm just saying, if you can offer something in there, they're buying activewear if people are going in there. So, they're probably going to the gym already, and then just saying, well, what can you offer them? The clients that are, maybe buying stuff in Rockware, and saying, well, if you can do that, then, I'll send some clients your way, and what can you offer them in return?
Yep, absolutely. My recommendation would be to have a clear plan. So if it's Rockware, have a clear plan, think about it, think about what offer you can do with them, think about highlighting the benefits for them first, go in with a clear plan of attack, because my recommendation, it would go a lot smoother. Now, and also something that popped in my head then, Benny, when you were talking was, if you work in a shopping center, absolutely. I bet there's heaps of places where you can, and Ash as well, if you don't work in a shopping center, there'd be so many small businesses we can team up. There's hairdressers, beauticians, freaking podiatrists, physios, chiros, cafes. There's just massage parlors. There's just so many opportunities there, guys. So I feel like in this day and age, we can't rely on the gym to give us leads. We're our own business. We can't rely on anyone to give us leads, especially the gym. And we can't rely on just social media. Social media, look, it works. It's important to have a social media presence. But on the flip, if you've only got one source of lead gen, it's a very dangerous place to be. So this is why we're getting creative and getting out there and doing things that other PTs aren't doing, trying to stand out.
Definitely.
The more lead gen systems we have in place, and we keep fueling and putting energy and focus into, the better off our business is going to be.
100%. And I'm guilty of this too myself, just to let you guys know that, like, my main focus has always been that Facebook lead generation or social media lead gen. And recently we've had a big shift into the referral side of things, and we've had like 3 referrals in the last 3 weeks. So we're really just touching the early stages of it to really build that up. But yeah, having that extra source has just made all the difference.
Awesome, gang. Awesome. So, I reckon we've gone through about 8 lead gen sources there. So it's all well and good, but it's about actioning them, and don't action 1 a week for 8 weeks. Action 1 for like 2 weeks, or action 2 for 2 or 3 weeks. Really dive in deep as you possibly can, and explore all avenues of every form of lead gen before you move on to the next. It's not about getting through the list. It's about really going into depth and polishing off that form of lead gen as to the best of our abilities. That would be my recommendation. Anything else, gang, before we wrap up?
No, just, lots of work. I'm ready to say just nail 1 or 2 things at a time, and then just keep going from there.
Yeah. In business,
Don't try and spread yourself too thin.
Yeah. In business, there's always multiple things that need to be done. It's about being smart with it and just having one or two focuses, polishing that off and just moving forward. Being in business is a marathon. It's not a sprint. We don't need to get it all done today.
Yeah, that got cancelled this Saturday too.
Marathon?
Yeah, supposed to run the half on Saturday.
Oh, shit.
Cancelled.
Go on.
Bugger. Isn't that going to be open on Saturday?
Yeah, but they decided because we're in the 3-day lockdown to cancel it. Yeah, sucks when you've been training for months for it. Sucks.
Yeah. Surely it won't get pushed back too far. Fuck, that sucks.
No, they cancelled it. Full stop.
Cancelled.
Cancelled.
Far out.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah, it's only the Gold Coast Marathon, but pretty much the biggest marathon in the country. And cancelled.
I had a mate.
Just do it anyway and say you won. Just buy
Well,
yourself
you can do
the first
that.
batch.
You can do that virtual one if you want to.
The virtual marathon. Fuck yeah, how does that work?
They still send you your finisher shirt and stuff like that if you submit your Strava file or something like that.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, nah.
Get on a bike or a scooter and just say you're running.
Yeah. Yeah. Far out.
Don't listen to me. That's a terrible idea.
Gut wrenching, I tell you when you.
I bet it is. Yeah, far out. Well, guys, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with you all. Let's keep the conversation going in the group chat. There's still, I need to double check the date, but there's still at least 1 week there where you've got our guidance. So let's get as much of this pathway to profits polished off. You've got us, and Lynn will be in contact with just some finishing touches for the program. Okay. Anything else while you got to see your team?
Not that I can think of at the
Pretty good
moment.
today.
Nah, all good. All right. Love you long time. Thanks for your time and effort and your attendance. It's been excellent. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you, Carl, as well, for jumping on board and sharing your wisdom, my bro. It's been excellent to have you on board.
It's been a pleasure. It's awesome working with you. So good
Great.
luck. And yeah.
Enjoy it, guys. Have fun with it.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
See you guys.
See ya.
Hey.